Support for this podcast is brought to you by our patrons over at patreon.com/Jeffrey Wedig.
Hey, this is Vivian and Nathan from Ocean Passages.
And you're listening to the Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast from EscapePods.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast brought to you by the EscapePods.com. I'm your host, Captain Jeffrey Wedig. And this episode is number 201, and it is February 2026, later in February. And we are hopefully getting through with winter. We had a really big storm back at the end of January. Dropped about a foot or so or more here in York, PA, and I guess similar-ish all through the Chesapeake Bay area, Upper Bay anyway. And then it was like ice and it hung around, and then it got really cold and windy and blech. And then as soon as the snow kind of all melted, now last night we got this blizzard. And here it's not terrible. We got maybe 5 inches of like heavy wet snow. And I'm sure down the eastern shore and kind of further points east, they were getting hammered, and I know they're getting hammered up in New York State and places like that. Today is somewhat of a snow day for me. I was actually feeling ill this weekend, and I woke up this morning and it just didn't feel right still. And it was just like, I'm going to take a day to recuperate correctly, and then I was able to get out just now and shovel and not feel too terrible, so that's good. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be back to 100%. But yeah, Friday night I was going to stay down at the boat, and I made it up there, and it was one of these deals where I picked Friday because the rain on Friday was supposed to end around noon, and then it was supposed to quote-unquote clear up. And I'm thinking, well, all right, it's going to be clear, it's going to be dry, and it's going to be like in the low 30s at worst, so it'll be a good night to stay on the boat and hang out. However, when I got there, it was just cold and misty and foggy and wet. And I sat there, I checked on some things. I had to fix my tarp and a couple other things, and I had a heater going in the boat. It just still wasn't warming up, and I think ultimately I was getting sick, so I didn't really feel right. So I ended up coming home, and then Saturday I was like, something's happening. I didn't feel bad. I just didn't feel good, I guess. And we ended up going out Saturday night, which turned out okay. I took some like Dayquil and whatnot and felt good. But then, Sunday I just felt like crap all day long. So here we are. This last blast of winter hopefully is the last blast of winter. I'm now done with winter emotionally and psychologically. And I would prefer it to start getting warm and springy. So we'll see. Although I don't know that I'm going to be able to get a lot going with the boat really until end of March, beginning of April anyway. Just things going on around here. And we'll see what the weather's like. That maybe we'll get a good weekend or two at the end of March. But I know beginning of April, I think I got something going on. And at the end of April, going away, and whatever. Before you know it, it's going to be Memorial Day. Hopefully we'll be out on the water by then. So we'll see. But yeah, when it was cold and windy and ugly out, what's the best thing to do? Go to a boat show. So they had the Chesapeake Bay Boat Show up in Timonium at the Maryland Fairgrounds. I believe it was the first weekend in February. So it had already snowed and it had been snow on the ground for over a week, but it was like less than 10 degrees out and it was blowing like 35 knots that day. Crazy windy, cold to the point where we were walking in from the through the fairgrounds parking lot, and I had like a derby hat on, like a driving cap, and my head I got a headache in that 5 minutes walking across the parking lot from how cold and windy it was. So when I got inside, I found the Jetty booth and I bought myself another knit cap so that I didn't have to feel that way on the way out. How's that? But yeah, the Chesapeake Bay Boat Show is kind of what became of, they used to do Baltimore Boat Show at the Baltimore Convention Center downtown. And years ago, I went to that a couple times in a row. The first year, I believe they actually had a bunch of sailboats there. And then it kind of all turned into a powerboat show. Now this is set up by Josh from Anchors and Oars. His wife, she does the DC boat show, and I think she put this all together. So I was able to email him and be like, hey, can you get me in on some media passes? And he's like, no problem. Go ahead. I don't know if I'll be there, but go ahead. So we had missed Kate, Captain Boomy. She was there, I guess, on Thursday or Friday, and then also she was going to be there on Sunday. So we didn't catch up with her. I was going to try and catch up with Bryant, and we just missed each other. But we got in there, and it's, like I said, it's mostly power boats, or it's all power boats, but power boats and lifestyle vendors. We were able to catch up with the broker with the beard, Ed. He's now repping Brig boats, which are like the big rigid inflatables that they're not really dinghies. They're more tenders and center consoles. But I guess he's setting up shop with them and starting his own salt yacht brokerage, which he talked about last time we spoke to him. So we were able to catch up with him. We didn't record that. We just did it offline. But it was good to see him. And then I'm just kind of was trolling around the show, like, who can I interview? At one point I wanted to talk to a guy who runs fishing charters out of Ocean City, because that's something I'm definitely interested in. And I know a lot of people are interested in getting groups together and going out on headboats and going fishing, whether it's in the bay or out on the ocean through Ocean City. And, back in the day, a friend of mine from high school used to work a fishing boat, private charter boat type of thing out of Ocean City, Maryland. And we would go down there. It was like a 60-foot Trojan. And he would have off like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we'd be down for the week at the beach, and we'd go hang out with him and go to like the fishing bars and stuff down at the south end of Ocean City there on the bay side. And it was just really cool. I remember him, one of my favorite stories is he came in from a fishing trip on like a Tuesday night, and we were staying, I think, up in Dewey at the time. And he came up with this just fresh as fresh can be tuna that they had just caught that day and filleted up. And he made tuna steaks on the grill, and he made fresh sushi out of it. And it was just freaking amazing. So always partial to that, and I've always wanted to go and do it again, and I've just never really gone out. I went out on a headboat when I was a kid, I think out of Rock Hall or maybe somewhere a little further south. But anyway, I wanted to interview that guy, and he's like, no, I'm not really into talking. He's like, why don't you interview the guy next to me? And of course he wasn't there, so I never got a chance to get back and talk to that guy. So I didn't talk to anybody with fishermen, but they had a whole fishing section there. It was all fishing boats. They had big aquariums, so kids were enjoying the hell out of it. They had like some seminars going on. And we did catch up a seminar with Chesapeake Bay Magazine, and I'll put the notes for the guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll have to go digging for it. But he was basically doing a cruising the Chesapeake, not necessarily sailing, because this is all powerboat, but sailing or power. If you're going to be in the middle section of the bay, what are the towns and places and docks and things you can go to? And it was pretty cool because he was talking about a couple places that I've been, so I had some insight to add to it. And then he went to a couple places I've never been to that I'm like, well, I need to check that out. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty cool little presentation that they did there through Chesapeake Bay Magazine. So we did talk to a couple people. The first person we're going to hear is from Cindy Freeland. She does children's books, Animals of the Chesapeake Bay. And it was pretty cool. I saw her stand set up there. And I'm always interested in the people that are doing it yourself, independent publishers, that kind of thing. And so she actually helps people with independent publishing of material. And then she's got this children's book line all about the animals that you will find in the Chesapeake Bay. So you can go check it out at seabaykidsbooks.com. And she's got hardback, she's got softback, all that stuff. Check it out. Pretty cool. Something if I had young kids in my family, which I don't currently, it would be a great Christmas gift for, you know what I mean? It's just a really, really cool idea. And then her husband talks about the Park Lawn Sailing Association that they belong to down in Galesville. I got Galesville and Graysonville mixed up, but Galesville, so it's south on the western shore of the bay. So you can check that all out. We were talking to Haydn, who we talked to at the Boaters Boat Show, and he's a patron of the podcast. But we were just, again, shooting the breeze, standing around talking, and he's like, you got to check these people out. It's the Misfit Winery, and it's Stephanie and Michael. You can find them at misfitwinery.com, I believe. So we ended up buying a bottle of wine and checking out what they've got going on, and you should too. It's pretty cool. And then we talked to Aaron from apexmarineservice.com. They are down in that same area, I guess, Southern Bay. But they are a full-service diesel kind of provider. If you want a replacement, they sell the nannies, which if you watch Red Seas, that's what they replaced their Yanmars with, I believe. And it sounded pretty affordable for a replacement of diesel engines to me, as far as just buying the product, and then they'll put it in for you if you want, or you can put it in, whatever. But they have like full service. They do big Caterpillar, like almost commercial grade engines. So they're kind of like a full service for all sorts of stuff. So you can check them out at apexmarineservice.com. And then at the end, we talked to Haydn a little bit more about, ostensibly, we were talking about Maryland Marina and what they have to offer and kind of the anniversaries that they're celebrating and the history of the club a little bit and how he ended up there. And he's been there for eons. We've been there a couple times. Bryant used to keep his boat there. We stayed on his boat there at the boat show a couple years ago. So it's a pretty nice marina. Other people I know have hauled out there before for various things. So check out Maryland Marina and Haydn Foy. He's, like I said, he's a patron of ours. He's setting up an owners group for the what is it, Lazy Jack Schooner 32 that he's got. So you can check that out. He's tracking down owners. I think he'll tell you. I think there's 30 or 60 boats, I think, out there in the world. So check that out. So kind of a lighter episode, nothing deep, nothing fancy, just a couple interviews from the Chesapeake Bay Boat Show up at the Timonium Fairgrounds in the middle of winter. So hopefully we'll get something going on in March and get to the boat maybe by the end of March to start taking tarps down and unwinterizing and all that fun stuff. So definitely reach out if you've got any guest suggestions, I guess. I've reached back out to a couple people. The one PR person I did not get back to yet because I'm not really sure I really want to do the interview. It's kind of one of those things where I'm like, is there really anything to add to what we've already talked about, kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely thanks for tuning in. Check us out at the Upper Chesapeake Bay Sailing Group on Facebook, the Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast group over on Facebook. All that fun stuff. And we will catch you on the flip side. Sail on.
asunder. I sang beneath the street lamps for the warlock chilling chunder. Here's to long goodbyes, boys, and here's to one another. Dearer to the heart and never nearer the gutter. So grab your ass and hoist a glass, and how the hell you been? To the wild winds of misfortune blow us back to town again. Hey!
All right, I'm here with Cindy. I'm here with Cindy Freeland. How do you say it? Freeland. And it says meet the author, and you've got a whole menagerie of looks like children's books and other things here. So tell me what you do.
I am a children's book author, and I also help authors learn how to self-publish.
Oh, really?
And I do school presentations as well. So, but all the books are about the animals of the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, wow. Cool. So I can see you got an osprey, you got an oriole, which is very Baltimore specific,
Yes.
jellyfish, the crab, the mermaid, which, you know, it's fantasy. Oysters, yeah, the honeybee. So tell me, how did you get into doing the children's books?
Well, it started with a jellyfish sting because my youngest daughter was stung by a jellyfish. So I started with Jordan the Jellyfish in 2013, and then I just expanded on that. So now I have 10 books in the series.
Wow.
And then I have another two, one for Deep Creek Lake and one for the animals, the ponies of Aztec Island.
Aztec, okay.
Yeah.
Cool, and are they all hardback?
No, actually they're in hardback and paperback.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I see in the back.
so yeah.
Okay.
So there's quite a few books, and you can find me on. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. The letter C for Chesapeake.
Okay.
Bay.
Uh-huh.
Kidsbooks.com.
Okay.
So that's cbaykidsbooks.com.
Right.
And the books are also on Amazon.
Okay. And you talked about, and you have a guide here for self-publishing,
Right.
obviously from personal experience.
Yes,
How
they are self-published through
How-
Ingram Spark.
Okay.
Ingram Spark, and I teach that as well. I've taught at the libraries and the senior center.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Ingram Spark?
It's a self-publishing platform. It's a website, free to use. Yep.
And did you just stumble upon that when you were doing it, or how did you figure all this out?
It was 2013, so I don't really know, or maybe even a little bit later than that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I started with another website, and that kind of morphed into something else. So, and I think that was connected to Amazon.
Uh-huh.
So then I found Ingram Spark.
Okay. And what about, so you write them, and then what about the illustrations?
The illustrations are done by maybe 10 illustrators, some in the United States and some over the pond, other countries as well.
So you just kind of find freelancers?
Yep, mostly on Facebook, author and illustrator groups.
Okay.
Yeah, so I found a lot of them there.
Right.
Yeah, and our favorite one is I have to shout out to our favorite one. Her name is Emily Hercock.
Okay.
She's in the UK, so she did Maisie the Mermaid and Paisley the Pony.
Oh, wow.
And Peter, my husband,
Yeah.
noticed that she likes to use her own eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a little,
So I have her picture in the back, and I never even realized it, but her picture is back here,
Uh-huh.
and she looks.
it's interesting.
She
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She designs the characters for her own face.
Wow.
So she's done 6 for me.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's Emily Hercock.
Wow. That's cool.
Yep.
And now, and this might be in a little bit of the weeds, but how, like, if you, whether it's a children's book or you're writing a short novel or something like that, like, what, you don't have to be specific, but kind of what's the cost of entry? Is it a lot, a little, you know? Do you have to put a lot of money out ahead of time, or?
No, not really. The printing is a little expensive. You have to buy the books in order to sell them.
Right, yeah.
So we have stock in the house.
Okay.
I ship from the house. I have a website.
Right.
And of course, festivals. I have to bring the books too.
Yeah.
So they're less expensive, of course, than what I'm selling them for.
Right.
But the original upfront cost, the major one, is about $1,000 per book for illustrations.
Okay. All
So
right.
about 1,000.
And
But
that's
we
for
make it
children's
back
books,
within. Yeah, we make it back within a year.
right. So that's
Yeah.
basically paying the freelancer for their artwork,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
like a licensing thing you got to do and that kind
No,
of?
not really. No,
Just
not
usually
really.
It's a once and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's no. I usually don't have an agreement, and
Yeah.
they don't get royalties. It's just a per
Right.
fee. A per illustration fee.
Yeah.
And I usually paid that when each illustration was done. So
Done.
about 4 months.
Yeah.
Takes about 4 months for a book this size, and they
Yeah.
average about 40 pages.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so you said Ingram Sparks. Is that? What do they take care of? Do they do all the distribution for you and all that, or?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat. Yeah, you can get them to distribute to Amazon, of course.
Of course. Okay.
And that's about 2 weeks after everything is approved.
Yeah.
And then you can do the international distribution where it's available everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Right. And I'm an award-winning international author because they've gone to Japan, they've gone to the
Everywhere.
United Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
so yeah.
Now, are you doing the formatting and everything yourself?
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I do it with Word, Microsoft Word.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've written in the past, and everyone's got a novel or two in their
Oh
in
yeah.
their system somewhere that they
Yeah.
want to get out.
Yeah, that's why I wrote this,
This?
because this is
Okay.
you can self-publish, and this is what I teach in the classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you teach classes locally?
In the Bowie area.
Bowie area?
Yeah, in the Bowie. That's where
Maryland?
we're from. Yeah, Bowie,
Okay.
Maryland. Yeah.
Cool. So if anybody's
Yeah,
out
the
there,
senior center, the
Uh-huh.
library I teach.
right?
Yeah.
Cool. And then you were saying about being a sailor, which are few and far between here in the power boat show.
Yeah, the powerboat show. Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's the same. I think just being the love of being on the water is one thing we have in common. But
Yeah.
sailing, we just have, I think, a little bit closer interaction with nature because you're at nature's mercy in terms of the waves and the wind. And,
Yeah, you're paying attention to the weather more.
correct,
I think.
yeah.
You're-
But it's fun. Just being on the bay is just, we love the bay.
yeah. You said what? Park Lawn Sailing Association.
Park Lawn Sailing Association. It's been actually, wow, it's been over 30 plus years, I think it's been going.
Okay.
And it originally started, believe it or not, at the FDA, Food and
Okay.
Drug Administration, which I still
Really?
work for.
Oh wow.
And
In DC area.
In the DC
DC
area,
area,
yeah.
okay.
But now they take members outside of FDA
From
as well.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's down in Graysonville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Galesville.
Galesville.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Graysonville's across the
Yeah.
bridge.
But
Yeah,
just-
Galesville's down the bay.
Galesville's
There you
just
go.
south, yeah. But,
All right. Very
beautiful
cool.
area.
So everybody, tell them you're at your website again.
Okay, the website for seabaykidsbooks.com, and that's for the Chesapeake Bay Adventure series of books for children 3 to 8 years old by Cindy Freeland.
And you got a whole pack. You can get the whole.
this is the
Set.
paperback set. There's 12 in here, and this is a hardback set, and there's 10.
10 in there. All right. All right.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. All right, I'm here with Haydn Foy, who we've heard from back from the Boaters Boat Show.
Boat Show.
And he was just telling me all about his new, what is it? Lazy, what's your schooner?
My Lazy Jack 32 schooner. Yep.
Starting an owners group. So anybody out there knows of a Lazy Jack schooner, hit up Haydn.
Search for it on Facebook.
Yeah. And while we were talking, he's like, well, you got to come over here and check these people out. So I'm here at Misfit Winery, and this is Stephanie and Michael, and you have alcohol.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Tell me about what makes Misfit Winery so special that Haydn had to drag me over here to talk to y'all.
It's good.
Yeah, we import our grapes from California. Well, we get most of our grapes from California. We import our dessert wine, our port wines from Portugal.
Okay.
But we have 5 flavors that are 11% alcohol. Our acai is 15% alcohol.
Okay.
We're in about 500 liquor stores all over Maryland right now.
Okay.
And we do all the major wine festivals, Wine in the Woods, Wine on the Beach, the Maryland Wine Festival.
Okay.
So, we're growing each year. We're getting bigger and bigger.
Okay. And how did you get into winemaking?
Well, honestly, I started working for the winery about 7 years ago.
Okay.
And the owner recently retired about 9 months ago.
Okay.
And my wife and I bought the
Bought
winery
in?
from him.
Yeah. So were you always interested in wine growing up?
I was a bartender for 20 years, so I was
Okay.
always around alcohol, but I never, I was never really on the wine side of it. But,
Right. Because wine is a specific. If you're really into wine, it's kind of like cigars.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
We're the wine for non-wine drinkers. so,
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
We make adult juice, basically.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So why is the port, Mr. Haydn, your favorite?
Oh, that is a combination of different things.
Okay, I'm going to try some right now.
So I've always wanted to have port wine because it's a dessert wine.
Okay.
And I learned about it through the Master and Commander series. And I was like, what is this port wine that they're always drinking on the naval battleships?
Yeah. So this is very fruity smelling.
It's very good.
Wow. And what distinguishes a port from something else?
The grapes are from Portugal.
Portugal?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I mean, if it's anything else, it's going to be just a dessert wine. But if the grapes are from Portugal,
Right.
it's a true port
True
wine.
port
And
wine.
this
it's
is
fortified.
actually, is it fortified with brandy?
It's fortified with sugar and brandy. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Sweet. All right, so where can we find Misfit Winery? Online?
Yeah, you can go to misfitwinery.com, and like I said, we're in about 500 liquor stores all over the state. We're in every county in Maryland.
Okay, great. All right, thanks for talking.
Thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
This is Bob Bitchin from Bitchin' Attitude, the monthly newsletter about boats, bikes, and adventure travel. And you're listening to Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast from escapepods.com.
All right, cool. I'm here at the Apex Marine booth at the Chesapeake Bay Boat Show up here in Timonium, and I'm speaking with Aaron with an A and Aaron with an E and other folks here, but basically talk about what Apex Marine is and what are your main product lines.
So we are a full service diesel shop. We do transmissions and running gear. We primarily work on nanny diesels and cats. We do a lot of repowers on boats. It's kind of our specialty. We're also a full fabrication shop, so we don't have to worry about sending stuff out to be made and having delayed projects, stuff like that. We can do it all in-house. Yeah, so like we also make hydraulic hose assemblies as well. So we kind of cover a wide range. We do Seakeeper as well. Okay. So we're basically just a full-service diesel shop that does a lot of repowers.
Where are you located?
Harrington Harbor North.
Harrington Harbor North?
Yeah.
Okay. If, say, your average sailboat's 30 to 35 foot, you got to repower your old whatever you got in it, what's your recommendation and what's the process about going to doing that?
So we usually, in that size range, is a Nanny N438, which is a 30 horsepower diesel.
Okay.
We can get them on with bobtails. We can do the Tough Torques, the ZFs, or V-Drive if needed, because a lot of those older sailboats at the Cape Dories, they have those V-Drives in them. And so usually if someone comes to us for a repower, we try to price it very competitively.
Right.
And we really prefer doing these over like the beta products because we think it's a much better put together product, and it's an engineered, mass-produced product that just has a lot more behind it than a lot of the other repower
options. What's the
options.
history on Nanny? Because I hadn't heard of them until like last year or the year before.
Yeah, so Nanny's been around for a very, very long time. It's a French-based company, so like a lot of the older Beneteaus, Genots, and that, they come with the Nannies in them already.
Oh, I got you.
Majority of the catamarans these days also come with them in it. Nordhaven has actually started putting in Nannies into their new builds as well.
Oh, really?
So it's not just a repower option. These are going into brand new boats as well.
Wow.
So it is a very, very good company. So the smaller ones are all based on a Kubota block, and so they're all mechanical as well. So there's no electronics to go wrong with them. So it's really appealing in that way. And those are the same engines they put in like all the skid steers and all the equipment. So you get 20,000 hours out of them. And then the bigger ones are all Toyota based, which is fantastic, and then the larger ones are Scania based.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll have motor heat exchangers on it, which is what Volvo, Yanmar, Cat, all the big players use anyway. And the price point you just can't beat on them.
And I see you have generators over there as well.
Yeah, we do next gen and phaser. We like the next gens because they're ultra compact. Instead of having a traditional design where it bolts into the back, they actually flip them and belt drive it instead. And then you're not getting that Fisher Panda style, where it's running at 3,800 RPM and it's really loud and lots of things go wrong with them. These are a lot lower RPM and they're a much better package and you can get to them a lot easier.
Now, is that some kind of case that they're setting in? What is that?
Yeah, so so both of these are the enclosure versions of them. So they have a full enclosure that goes around them with sound deadening inside of them.
Oh, wow.
So they run at about 60 decibels.
Okay.
Under full load.
Nice.
Which is very quiet. Especially if you put it in an engine room space.
So you got like ports into that enclosure for your fuel and your exhaust.
Fuel,
and all
exhaust,
that.
your wiring harnesses, your AC power that comes in and out of it. Very, very well put together product.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you're bigger. What are these over here?
Yeah, so we're also an AMD dealer for CAT. So we can do CAT certified repowers. We can do CAT certified work, warranty, everything like that through Chesapeake Marine Engineering, which is another company we own. So we obviously don't do as much of that because it's a much larger project.
That's commercial grade stuff.
Well, these white ones here are pleasure, so they're the higher horsepower versions of it. So we bring them to this show because it's more of a pleasure show. And then so when we do more of the commercial stuff, we go out to like the boat docking competition stuff. We bring the yellow stuff out, which is like more the commercial
grade.
Yeah, we also do all the work for the like a lot of the work for like Chesapeake Bay Foundation and their boats and that kind of stuff. So we work on cats for them and
kind of fleet service type stuff.
We're just trying to like we don't really advertise, it's all word of mouth, and we're just at this point we've been doing it for a long time. We're just trying to get more of our name out there, people understand and realize how many brands we have, and we can get trade accounts with people so we can sell them parts at decent prices, and we don't want to sell everything at MSRP, so people want parts for their engines, they come to us and buy them.
Perfect.
So,
all right, and then the Seakeeper. Like I said, I have a friend who works for Seakeeper.
Yeah.
So I've always been, for the last couple of years, I know what they do, but go ahead and give a short explanation of what the Seakeeper is.
So this is the Seakeeper gyro. This has a flywheel in it that spins at about 9,000 RPM. Whew. It has hydraulic brakes on it that stops it from tilting backwards and forwards, that allows the boat to not slam around, and it keeps it really, really steady side to side.
And this is mostly a powerboat product.
Yeah, I don't really know if anybody's put them in a sailboat. I feel like it would kind of do the opposite of what you want to do. Sailboat, unless you're really worried about sitting at anchor.
I was wondering about that, if it would deaden the swell or whatever.
Yeah,
if you're
it
at
probably
anchor.
work quite well at anchor, but I feel like it's just more weight that you don't really need for a sailboat. So. But then we also have the Seakeeper Ride as well, which is basically what they tried to do, is make an alternative to this that more does for getting up on plane and then leveling while you're running.
Leveling, I got you,
Because this really, really does well when you're getting like a side swell and you're fishing. That does really well when you have a lot of people in your boat, you want to get up on plane. And drop the buckets down the hole, the blades down the whole way. Really helps the boat get out of the water, and then it helps trim it automatically while you're running as well, which makes a massive difference.
Cool. So do you all work down at Harrington Harbor? Or?
Yeah, we have a crew of about 12 people.
12 people?
Yeah, so we have a pretty decent sized crew. We have a shop down there. We have a shop up in Edgewater as well.
Oh, you do?
We kind of have overflow, so if we have a job we need to fiberglass work with on a trailer boat, so you can ride. Some of them have pockets on them, so we have to glass the pockets in, do the gel work, the gel coat work and everything.
Right.
Because we also have electronics people on staff and gel coat and fiberglass repairs.
Wow. Okay, great.
We're like full service.
Full service.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Cool. Well, do you guys do any of your own pleasure boating on the bay? Do you have boats?
Honestly,
or do you,
I'm too busy fixing other people's boats.
I
get invited on people's boats all the time, but I never really take them up on
it. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much. And where can we find you?
You can find us either on Instagram. You can find us on the internet, or just come down to our shop and say hello.
You got a website?
Yep, it's apexmarineservice.com.
All right, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Yep. I'm always nervous when I do it.
Really?
No, I think about it when I leave to go to something like this, or I'm like, okay, who am I going to find at the powerboat show that I'm going to talk to? Is it worth breaking it out? You know what I mean? I walk around first, and then I see who's around and all that fun stuff. All right, I'm here with Mr. Haydn Foy. We spoke and met for the first time at the Boaters Boat Show back in September, which feels on one hand like it was yesterday, and then on the other hand, the warmth feels like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is frigid out there and waiting for spring. So we were talking, you're hanging out at the Maryland Marina booth.
Yep.
and tell us all about, because you've been there I didn't realize you've been there for so long.
I've been at Maryland Marina since 2003, I guess it was,
Okay.
with my first boat. It was
Yeah.
a 1965 24-foot Columbia.
Wow.
And I got that up on the Bohemia River. It was a Lions Club boat.
Oh, wow.
And that was my first sailboat.
Yeah.
We brought that down and kept it at Maryland Marina. It went through Isabel
Right.
down
Oh,
there.
wow. Yeah.
And then we upgraded that to 1980 Hunter 27 Cherubini.
Yeah.
And we kept that there for forever.
Right.
And then when my son graduated high school, I sold that to him.
Right.
So we took a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Still active with the Marina because he was down there working for the Marina and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Then I guess it was 3 years ago now, we bought a power boat.
Right. Tell me about that.
Yeah, on Facebook for $700 and it wasn't running. And that all started because my daughter, during COVID, nobody was going anywhere, so we were bringing up all these memories of our sailing adventures on the Hunter, and she didn't remember any of it.
Oh, no.
So I said, my wife and I sat down, we got to change this. You know, we've got to, give her some memories that she can remember participating in. And then we had the power boat for a couple of years, and about this time last year, January, we saw Delphinius in the yard and, worked with Lynn and Henry to buy Delphinius.
Right.
Had a great summer this year on the boat.
You didn't have to go very far to get it.
No, and that was the thing too. I've never had a delivery cruise,
Right.
because we bought the Hunter at the Marina too. One of these days, well, I'm not buying another boat. We're going to keep Delphinius forever, but one of these days, somebody's going to buy a boat that I know, and I get to go on a delivery.
Delivery, yeah. My first boat, I had to go to West Virginia to pick it up on a trailer. But
Okay.
all the other boats I've had have come straight out of
Was
Hanson's
that the
Point.
McGregor?
Yeah, the McGregor, yeah. And then, so on the South Coast, I bought at Hanson's Point. Pegasus, I bought at Hanson's Point. And Lissadell, I bought at Hanson's Point.
Why did anybody have a McGregor in West Virginia?
Good question. And
Was
the
there
guy,
lakes or something?
there's lakes
Okay.
and then the Ohio River. So I think the guy that I bought it from a guy who was closer to the Ohio River.
Okay.
And then he bought it to put it on a lake and literally didn't know anything about sailboats. Just bought it because he wanted to learn, but then his wife didn't like it. He used it 3 times and it just sat on a slip for a couple months, and then he's like, I'm not paying for this if we're not going to use it. And then he put it up for sale. So he's the unfortunate part of that is he didn't know anything about anything. So when I'm asking him questions, of course, I don't know anything about anything because I have never owned a boat before at that point. So, but whatever questions I did have, he couldn't answer. And he didn't even ever register or title the boat in his name. So he sold me the boat, but I had to go to the guy before him, call him and say, hey, can you send me this, this, and this so I can get this thing registered and titled, you know what I mean? And it was just a nightmare. And he didn't have any information on the trailer. So I had to register the trailer in Pennsylvania because it was easier to do it without an existing title than it was in Maryland. So I got the boat titled in Maryland and the trailer titled it was a mess. Anyway, so you're at Maryland Marina and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna
Why not?
Yeah.
It's been fun. We've enjoyed our time there, and the kids, all 4 of our kids have grown up around the boats there. And it's just to me,
right.
I know everybody has their opinions at different places that they go.
Right.
But for me, it's always been a family place for us to go.
Well, it's pretty protected back there where it is.
Well, it's across the creek's a registered hurricane hole.
Hole,
so during the snowbird season, we'll have boats from all over the place going south, hanging out there for a couple weekends or whatever.
We stayed on Bryant's boat when he was still there for the boat show one year. So we would just drive back and forth when the bridge was still up. You could do it in 40 minutes. You know what I mean? But we stayed there. It was a nice place. You know what I mean? So, how many slips do you guys have, and what sort of services do they have there?
Well, it's a full service marina. Okay. We've got a great guy that does gel coat and fiberglass. He's going to do some work for me. His name's Pete.
Okay.
Hi, Pete, if you're listening.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of just crazing on the side, some spider cracks, and he's going to make that whole side pretty before, that'll be stage 1, and then stage 2 next year we'll be painting the boat.
Yeah.
But it's full service marina. There's think it's 356 slips.
Slips. Okay.
The marina was established in 1946.
Wow. Okay.
And it was a 5th generation marina before they sold it to new owners down in, I believe they're from North Carolina. Great guys.
Yeah.
Want to put as much into the marina as they can and keep it up, keep it a family marina.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
cool.
It's a great place to base out of.
There's, I've seen the pavilion and the bathhouse and stuff like that. But is there like a Channery store or a restaurant or anything going on there?
There's a store there that's how I started, When I got the powerboat, I'd go up to the store and look for parts, and nobody was really handling the store. So I volunteered some time, help them get things straightened up. Now they have a person that's handling all of that.
Okay, cool.
So, the biggest thing is trailer storage and dry sail storage.
Yeah.
And just the slips and
So
everything.
do you keep your boat in all year, or do you haul it out?
I have in the past.
Okay.
I've got a lot of work to do, new depth sounders and stuff like that going in this year. So we're out this year.
You're out this year.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can keep it in if you want to.
I can keep it in if I want to. They have bubblers out right now. So we were excited to go walk out onto the ice, and we went down to the marina, and you can't because all the bubbles are
going.
But I did hear somebody from last week, they were saying that they saw a 4-wheeler flying down the creek in front of the marina.
Awesome. So you do you live close by then?
We're down in Bowler's Quarters. I could walk to the marina.
Okay. I was gonna say, how did you choose Maryland Marina to begin with?
To begin with, way back when, I lived in Harford County, but it was the best deal for a marina at the time. And like I said, the staff was great.
Great. Yeah. Cool. So if you're coming in from the bay, you're coming in Middle River. You go past Bowley's quarters and then
come all the way up into the Middle River, and you got a choice. You can go left or right.
Right. Yeah.
You go to the right. You'll see Long Beach Marina across from the airport, and then we're the next one in.
Okay, because we've gone to the place next door, which is like an event space.
Yes.
Can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember either, but I can remember going over there because they had the best breakfast.
Yeah. Well, I just remember because you can stand on the bulkhead there, and literally the slips for Maryland Marina are like right over there. Yep. And I've threatened twice now to sail to that event, and I never have.
Well, if you come by, give us a call. We'll give you a seat.
Cool. So you're going to be on the water this year. What do you got planned? Anything and everything?
Just we're going to Wharton Creek as much. I want to, Memorial Day weekend we'll be over there. We'll have a bonfire on the beach. Okay. Anybody's welcome to come over.
Do you do that right out front?
Yes. If you go in, you see the red buoy. Number 2
to the left.
Just to the left of it. That's where I always try and anchor.
Because we had a big bonfire there on our cruise last year, like right after the Boaters Boat Show. 2 weeks, I think, after that.
We used to, when the kids were younger, we would spend our week-longs over there.
Oh, yeah.
And we, like how the beach comes in, there used to be the wooden pier there. We would set up base camp on the beach. I'd give the kids, like, hand tools like saws and hammers and stuff and a bag of nails. And they would go to get the driftwood and build all kinds of chairs and tables. And there used to be a table over there, and everybody put their boat name on it and the year.
Right.
So we've moved to the right of that a little bit. My son kind of went over there and claimed his own spot.
Claimed his spot. And then there's a little nook in there. If you go in to the left, isn't there?
If you go there's like there used to be like a little sand island there where all the red-winged blackbirds would hang.
Right.
We named it Oriole Island.
Okay.
Because we thought they were Orioles. Come to find out, they're red-winged blackbirds. Well, that island part's wiped out or washed out, but there's a deep spot behind that. I've seen powerboats going back there, but I've never seen. I wouldn't try it.
Friends of ours had similar, like a McGregor that drove like 16 inches or something like that. You know what I mean? They would go up in there all the time and hang out because you're in knee deep, hip deep water. All day long hanging out, and then beach right there.
If it's rough outside, if you go in past the mooring field, between the two marinas, we've anchored there. And
it's nice and calm. Yeah, definitely, and not quite as crazy as Fairleigh, which is the next one down.
Fairleigh's okay. I've anchored over there one or two times. The entrance is kind of tricky.
Yeah. And holidays get kind of crazy. If you want crazy, go to the Fairlane.
I was told by Henry and Lynn that we have to go try Still Pond.
Oh yeah,
because they've got a new boat.
Yeah.
And we're going to go out there and have a good time with them out there.
Yeah, cool. We've done a lot of dinging exploring on the creeks at Still Pond on each side. So, and a lot of beach. You just anchor up at the beach there. So, all right, cool, man. Great catching up with you. I didn't expect to see anybody I knew here too much, but
I was surprised to see you as well.
So go. What does Maryland Marina have, a website or?
MarylandMarina.net.
.net. Okay, cool. All right, take it easy. Peace. Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this episode of the Shooting the Breeze Sailing Podcast brought to you by theescapepods.com. I really hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, make sure you leave a review, like and share, and tell all of your sailing friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast aggregator. If you would like to support the show, you can become a patron over at www.patreon.com/Jeffrey Wettig. If you pledge $2 a show or more, I'll be sure to send you a great Sail On t-shirt. For show notes, links, photos, social media, and more, head over to our website, www.theescapepods.com. While there, stop by our links and affiliates page for links to our friends and other great sailing media that we enjoy. You can also purchase sailing vocabulary lessons from Franz from over at the Sailing in the Mediterranean and Beyond podcast. The intro music is a song called Never Tell, done by yours truly, an old friend of mine, Greg Young. He was the drummer in an early 90s hardcore band I managed called The Incoherents. You can find them on iTunes, Amazon, and other music sharing sites. If you would like a copy of that song, you will have to email me. Break music is a song called Wild Winds of Misfortune, written by Leo DeSanto of the Lancaster, PA-based band Vinegar Creek Constituency, and is used by permission. The song is performed by Lancaster, PA-based Celtic rock band and friends of mine, the Ogham Stones. The music for this call to action is a live cover of The Wild Rover, as performed by the Ogham Stones at McCleary's Pub in Marietta, Pennsylvania, back in 2014. If you have questions or comments, or you have show ideas, make sure to write us at theescapepods@gmail.com. Sail on, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Molly Winans from Spin Sheet Magazine, and you are listening to Shootin' the Breeze from theescapepods.com.
This is Captain Jeffrey Wettig.
And Jeffrey's better half, Nora Segel-Wettig.
And Chris Smoker.
You're listening to the Shooting the Breeze podcast on theescapepods.com. Sail on, brother.